This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel on this Tuesday morning, where we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw for last night's show, July 24th, 2017, from Washington, D.C. and the Verizon Center. Feel like I'm living in the fucking bizarro world, man. Never would I have thought that a Washington, D.C. crowd for a random edition of Monday Night Raw at the end of July would be a better crowd than a crowd at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Go fuck yourself, Philadelphia. Not only do you suck, but your fucking baseball team sucks cock as well. And also, I feel like I'm living in the bizarro world because are we really looking forward to Monday Night Raw washing the bad taste out of our mouth from a SmackDown pay-per-view? Are we really looking forward to Monday Night Raw to make things right in our wrestling worlds on a Monday night? I mean, are those words actually coming out of my mouth? Where the fuck are we, man? Are we in the Attitude Era or are we in 2017 with the reality era? I don't understand it. Bizarro world, man. It's fucking bizarre. But Monday Night Raw last night, man, wasn't a bad show. Wasn't overly a good show, but it was at least a watchable show. Really don't have any complaints about the show. It's just the same thing. Run-of-the-mill Monday Night Raw. Very formulaic. You know, very ordinary, very Monday Night Raw-ish. What do you want me to say? It's the same shit. They follow the same formula every single week. But the opening segment was great. We'll talk about that. The handicap match at the end of the show, the crowd fucking wanted to go home at that point. Dead to the world. Not one fucking peep in that match. And you got WWE hyping up Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose tag teaming together for the first time in 3 years. So I don't understand what happened there, but we'll talk about that and everything in between. Sasha Banks and Bayley, Elias Samson versus Finn Balor in a no DQ match, Enzo versus Cass, Big Show throwing his 2 cents into the whole thing. We'll talk about all of that today within this video. I want to thank, first and foremost, important note here. I want to thank everybody, first and foremost, for 80,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. It's so nice to finally just get over that hump. Been at 79,000 for fucking months, it seems like, because of YouTube's bullshit. I want to thank everybody that's stuck with me. I want to thank everybody that thanked me on Twitter yesterday. We are well over 80. With this review, we should be over 80,100 subscribers right now, man. I'd love to get as close as we possibly can before the end of the year to that 100,000, man. My birthday's in February. My birthday is February 6th. It would be an absolutely amazing birthday. It would be the best birthday gift ever if we can nail 100,000 subscribers before my birthday, or at least in the vicinity of my birthday, man. I don't care if it's an early birthday gift, a late birthday gift, as long as it happens within the month of February. I'd love to have it happen before WrestleMania. If I'm planning to go down to New Orleans for WrestleMania, I'd love to have 100,000 subscribers right next to my name right here on the channel, man. So thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys are fucking beast. I really don't know what to say, but you guys have stuck with me through everything, and I love each and every one of you, man. From what we do here with Raw Review, SmackDown Live, NXT, Off the Script, every single weekend. You guys have been with me through everything, and I want to thank you all for being with me up until this point, and there's a lot more work to do. If you guys missed my Battleground review, which a lot of people are saying is my best and funniest review ever, it even trumps the 2017 Royal Rumble review. Make sure you guys, or the 2016 Royal Rumble review, whichever one you guys were fucking complaining about. You guys are, I don't know, man. I think that video actually got taken down, to be quite honest with you. I think it was demonetized because I put "fuck Roman Reigns" in the title. But you guys loved the review. You guys were all over that. I asked for 3,000 likes. You guys gave me 3,400 likes. You guys are fucking unbelievable, man. If you guys missed the review, if you guys want to go check out everything that everybody's talking about, it's in the video right now, man. Make sure you guys go and check that out. It's in the annotation within the Monday Night Raw review video that you're watching right now. Everything that led up to Battlegrounds, if you guys missed Off the Script last weekend, that is live on the channel right now as well. I even did a What We Learned video after Battleground. I did that yesterday morning, so if you need to go check any of that stuff, it's live on the channel right now. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. And please subscribe down below and hit that bell for all notifications so you guys know when I have content, which goes up daily. Thank you all so very much. We are 4 weeks away from SummerSlam, and WWE is doing a better job at building towards SummerSlam on Monday Night Raw compared to SmackDown Live. I don't know what the fuck they're doing on SmackDown Live. I don't even think they know what they want to do on SmackDown Live. Clearly they don't know what they want to do if they brought back the Punjabi Playboy for SmackDown Live. Please, hand me a noose and set aside a bottle of bleach for me. Please. I'll make good use of it. SummerSlam is being built very well on Monday Night Raw, and the opening to last night's show was very good as always. You got Strowman, you got Joe, you got Reigns, you got Angle. The announcement was finally made. This was nothing new. This is not groundbreaking information. I'm just glad that WWE went ahead and gave us the match that we all wanted. Not a triple threat. We didn't want to see Reigns, Strowman, and Lesnar without Joe there. We didn't want to see just Lesnar versus Reigns or Lesnar versus Strowman, which is coming. We definitely are going to get that eventually. I'm just glad that Samoa Joe is there. And WWE, I know for a fact, I don't have any reports or anything, but I know for a fact that Samoa Joe single-handedly changed WWE's mind here. And Joe pretty much put himself in the main event of SummerSlam by the body of work that he has shown so far on Monday Night Raw. Ever since this match with Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire was announced coming out of Extreme Rules, Joe put himself in the main event. And I'm so fucking happy that he is in the main event because nobody deserves it more right now than Samoa Joe. And if I was to take the title off of Lesnar, Joe would be my first choice. Definitely. So I don't know where they're going with this. It's a perfect opportunity if WWE wants to take the title off of Brock Lesnar and put it back on a full-timer that is on Monday Night Raw and put it on somebody that is just as legit as Brock Lesnar. So I hope that they are at least contemplating that for Brooklyn. But with less than a month to go, Kurt Angle comes out and promised to settle the number one contendership on the show last night. We also find out about Jason Jordan, speaking of Kurt Angle. His debut match is taking place on this show against Curt Hawkins. Kurt Angle opens things up. He talks about how the weight has been lifted off his shoulders now that Jason Jordan has been announced as his son. As for the number one contendership, Brock Lesnar will be defending against, and before we even get into the fucking show, Braun Strowman interrupts and comes out and gets in Angle's face. And if I am Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman is getting face-to-face with me, threatening me, I'm shitting my pants. Strowman gets face-to-face with Kurt Angle and says that he better have been about to announce his name because unlike Reigns and Joe, he won his match at Great Balls of Fire. And I do not fear Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar fears me. So being that Strowman came out and is threatening Angle to put him in the main event, out comes Joe to chants of Joe chanting along to the beat of his theme song. You know you're over when you got the crowd doing that. Beautiful. Joe comes out and said to Braun, listen, we have not crossed paths much since you got here. He said he wanted to explain to him who he is. So Joe goes over his name again as if he's called for a spelling bee in the second grade, right? My name is Samoa Joe, and he is the man who tamed the beast and came within seconds of putting him to sleep at Great Balls of Fire. Joe said he is the man who does not fear Lesnar, and I definitely, he looked at Strowman, don't fear you. Braun got really agitated at this point and stepped towards Joe. So he got face to face with Joe. He said the only reason he's giving him the courtesy of not kicking his teeth down his throat after what he did last week is simple. All you accomplished was saving Roman Reigns from losing to me for a third straight time. Joe then turned to Angle and said, obviously Braun and Roman have a lot to settle, but at SummerSlam, he needs to give the beast to Joe. So Mr. Roman Reigns comes out because, he loves to crash parties. He's like the third wheel. Nobody wants him there. So Roman comes out. Reigns says Joe comes out here and talks about what he almost did. He said Joe hasn't done anything around here. Really? He's done a lot more this year than you have, Mr. Roman Reigns. Hasn't done anything around here. He told Braun he's been around for a hiccup, and he hasn't done anything as well. He said in 5 years, and this is where he thinks he goes over his accolades, and that warrants a world championship title match at SummerSlam. Boy, is Mr. Roman Reigns delusional, bro. He said in 5 years he's been tag team champion, U.S. champion, a 3-time world heavyweight champion. He's won the Royal Rumble, and it was in Philly, and it was loud that night. Ooh. Little fucking shot at your Philadelphia fucking goons out there last night, or on Sunday night for Battleground. So it was a nice slip under the rug there by Mr. Roman Reigns. I got to give him that one. I've been a part of 5 WrestleManias, 3 of which I main evented. He said at the last one, I retired The Undertaker. He asked Joe and Braun, please tell me what you all have done around here. I'll wait. So, Reigns, you think because of what you did in your past now allows you to be granted an opportunity in the present at Brock Lesnar? What sense does that fucking make? You lost. But wins and losses don't matter in WWE. That is apparent. If they're basing their World Championship match at SummerSlam off of this guy's past accomplishments, clearly wins and losses don't mean anything. Because Roman Reigns lost at Great Balls of Fire in what many were saying, it wasn't official, a number 1 contenders match. But Roman Reigns took it upon himself to take Strowman out of the equation. He thought he did at least an adequate job to maintain that Strowman is not going to be a thorn in his side anymore. He was mistaken. Strowman is not human. He's in an ambulance accident. He comes back the next week and he throws himself into the mix. He has a match with Joe and Reigns completely thrown out the window due to outside interference. He laid everyone to waste, right? And he wants the title shot because he believes he deserves one. But then you got 4 men all together in one room who just want to beat the shit out of each other, 3 of which think they deserve the shot at Brock Lesnar. So you got Kurt Angle saying he changed his mind and makes the 4-way for SummerSlam. So we got Reigns, we got Joe, we got Strowman, and we got Lesnar in what will be the biggest main event in 2017 for WWE. Now, the main event of WrestleMania, what was that? Lesnar and Goldberg, and you had Reigns and The Undertaker. This is blowing away WrestleMania in every sense of the word. This main event is the biggest main event that WWE will put on this year. It's bigger than whatever they did at WrestleMania. I love this match. Having these guys in the ring at the same time with no rules whatsoever is going to be unbelievable, man. I haven't been excited about 4 men being in one match in a very, very long time. This has the makings of being an all-out fucking war. And I can't wait to see what happens. Joe obviously isn't happy. They all start brawling. At one point, Joe and Reigns clothesline Strowman over the barricade into the crowd. At one point, we got WWE officials and security coming in. Strowman is just tossing these guys like fucking Mentos into his mouth. Fucking throwing these guys over the top rope. Destroying everybody. Then the WWE locker room comes out. They can't even contain everything. This completely broke down with the announcement of a fatal 4-way because all 3 of these guys think that they have the right to challenge Brock Lesnar one-on-one. So Reigns at the end spears Strowman and he pops right back up and sends Joe and Reigns flying over the top rope to the outside. This was a very, very good segment. It did what it needed to do. It got the announcement It got us excited about SummerSlam. The only thing I don't like about this segment is that from this segment, WWE next week, foolishly, I'm going to say foolishly, because I don't want to see any of these guys mixed into the ring together before SummerSlam. WWE is giving 3/4 of the SummerSlam main event away for free on television. Now, I don't want to be critical of it. I understand why they're doing it, but I don't know why they're doing it. I don't. You got Joe, you got Reigns, and you got Strowman in the main event of next week's Monday Night Raw in a triple threat match. Why would anyone want to see a preview of what will happen at SummerSlam on Monday Night Raw with these three guys? Then I get to thinking, well, WWE has 4 weeks. Can they really build the intensity and the frustration of all three of these guys leading into SummerSlam with just promos? They probably could. I wish WWE would take the old school approach here and build everything up and really save whatever they got planned for the pay-per-view without touching anything on Monday Night Raw. I really wish they do that. But I understand why they can't. WWE's always antsy. They want to get the fucking, they're impatient. They want to get things on Monday Night Raw either to boost ratings or build excitement through, in-ring action with these guys. You can't do Reigns and Joe. We've seen it 3 times already. You can't do Reigns and Strowman because we've seen it how many fucking times already? We've seen it all through 2017. They've been battling each other all year. You can't do Joe versus Strowman, and I hope that they don't give us Joe versus Strowman for free on Monday Night Raw. I don't want to see those two guys touch unless it's on pay-per-view. So, the only real match that you could get out of this is Joe versus Strowman. That's fresh, and I don't want to see that before SummerSlam at all. Lesnar, he's not going to be fighting anybody until we get to Brooklyn. So he's not really going to play a factor into anything. He might get into a brawl on the go-home show. They might use him in that capacity. But I don't really like that WWE's giving 3/4 of the SummerSlam main event away for free next week on Monday Night Raw. Maybe it's just a small tease. Maybe it breaks down to the point where the match doesn't even get started. I don't know. But at first glance, at first thought, I don't like that at all. I really wish WWE would take the old school approach here and just build through word. You got Joe, who's the best fucking promo in WWE right now. Strowman can more than well handle his own. Reigns is Reigns, but WWE wants to get you excited. They want to give you a tease about what you possibly could see at SummerSlam. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens next week. At first glance, I don't like it. This match is too big of a main event to give 3/4 of it away for free on Monday Night Raw, on a random edition of Monday Night Raw. So we'll see what happens. That's the only thing I didn't like about that opening segment. That was the best part of the show. And obviously from there, we really didn't get much else on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Elias Samson versus Finn Balor. This was a great fucking match. In fact, this one match was probably better than everything that happened at Battleground, which is sad. Because that's, nothing away from Elias Samson and Finn Balor. It's just that, you take a random no DQ match on Monday Night Raw and you put it up against anything that happened at Battleground. It's quite sad that you got over 3 hours of pay-per-view and you couldn't develop anything of positivity from that show. This was a great match. I love Elias Samson. I think he's got a great look. I think his in-ring skill is it's not top-notch, but it's great. He's believable. He gets genuine heel heat. He just has that old school heel feel and look to him. I easily see a mid-card title around this guy's waist. Easily. This guy could be a great heel. He could be a great foil to a babyface. I think Elias Samson is going to be a breakout star in 2018. The guy has a lot of things going for him, and I'm excited to see where he goes. I really do. And the funny thing is, he was next to nothing on NXT. They didn't know how to use him in NXT. He gets to Monday Night Raw. Someone in the back, whether it's Vince McMahon or somebody in the back creatively who has a lot of power, they look at Elias Samson and they pretty much have been booking him like a superstar. They're giving him freedom to cut promos in the ring and feed off the crowd. and bullet points. They're not really overly scripting his promos from a previous report that I read to you guys on Off the Script. Elias Sampson has been nailing it so far on Monday Night Raw. Great stuff. Finn Balor, you know, a lot of people are complaining that he's in a feud with Elias Sampson, that it's not going anywhere. I'm enjoying it so far. As long as this didn't take place on pay-per-view and they have this little mini feud on Monday Night Raw that builds to a bigger feud for Finn Balor, fine. I'm all for it. If we get matches like we got last night, I'm all for it, man. Both of these guys have great chemistry together. But in the end, this is the most important thing. No DQ match. It was very good. We've seen some chair shots. Finn Balor wore that black tape that Cesaro usually wears. I don't know the name of it. But he was clearly favoring his shoulder. And the announcers made mention of, well, that might be a mistake by Finn Balor because that makes him an easy target for Elias Sampson. I don't think the tape was going to give anything away. You know, Elias Sampson should know last week that he nailed Finn Balor on the shoulder, and that might be a weak point. So WWE commentators to point that out, it's kind of stupid and silly. But he did wear that black tape that Cesaro usually wears over his shoulder. That guitar shot, they replayed it over and over and over again. It gets more brutal every time you see it, man. That shit was fucking wicked. But in the end here, we had Finn Balor making his comeback as usual, you know, stomping him away, the soccer kick, the running drop kick into the corner, chair shots to Sampson, and then, like I said, that shotgun drop kick into the corner, followed up by the coup de grace. But before Finn Balor actually got to pin Elias Sampson, the lights go out, the lights come back on, and in the middle of the ring, Finn Balor is in the grasp of Bray Wyatt. Sister Abigail almost immediately. Bray Wyatt retreats into the corner. Elias Sampson, you know, selling the coup de grace, slowly crawls over to Finn Balor, makes the cover. 1, 2, 3. Elias Sampson beats Finn Balor with the help of Bray Wyatt in a no DQ match. I love that. It gets a big win for Elias Sampson, even though it was Bray Wyatt. We have the no DQ stipulation, so anything goes, right? Sampson didn't ask for any help. Bray Wyatt just magically appears whenever the fuck he wants to. Sister Abigail to Finn Balor, done. Elias Sampson gets a big win. So then Bray Wyatt starts spider crawling over to Finn Balor and screams, "Follow the buzzards." So clearly this is what we're going to get at SummerSlam. And I'm telling you right now, we haven't seen the Demon. There's a reason why we haven't seen the Demon on Monday Night Raw or on the one pay-per-view that Finn Balor was in the main event with the Extreme Fatal 5-Way. There's a reason why we didn't see the Demon. Because they're saving the Demon for SummerSlam. They're saving the Demon for SummerSlam because the SummerSlam in 2016 was the last time we seen the Demon Finn Balor. Bray Wyatt is going to force Finn Balor to bring out the inner demon in him, leading to their match at SummerSlam. We're going to get the Demon Finn Balor. We're going to get the Demon King versus Bray Wyatt. Believe me, it's simple booking. And I don't know what this means for Elias Sampson. You know, it'll be kind of shitty if he's left out of a decent feud going into SummerSlam. I've been liking his body of work so far. But clearly right now, WWE is moving away from Elias Sampson and giving us Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Should be interesting, but Bray Wyatt will be the one to bring out the inner demon in Finn Balor. Angle was backstage. Kurt Angle. He's excited to watch Jason Jordan's first singles match. Emma, of all people, comes out of nowhere and says that she wants TV time. You know, what about me? Alexa's getting a shot. Sasha's getting a shot. Bayley's getting a shot. I'm the one who was there from the beginning at the start of this women's revolution. Some look to me as being the one to start the women's revolution down in NXT. What about me? What do I have to do to get my opportunity? And then she sarcastically says, "Oh, maybe I'll just start dating your son Jason." Now, if I'm Kurt Angle, if I'm the father of Jason Jordan, if I'm Kurt Angle here, and Emma, of all people, says, "Maybe I should start dating your son Jason," I'd be like, damn right. Damn right, you can have my son Jason, beautiful woman like you. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Or maybe I'll just take you for myself. Yeah, fuck Jason, fuck my son. You know? Have you seen Emma's Instagram? There you go, that's all you need. That's all you need. Angle then says, listen, you want your opportunity? I'm going to give you Nia Jax tonight. Now, before we get to that, I just want to make mention. Emma, frustrated last week, tweeted out that it was her 5-year anniversary with WWE and that she wasn't even on the show. She didn't have an opportunity to be on the show, and that she was sitting in the back by catering, watching all the other women get an opportunity in the ring while she just sat around and watched. Keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. Enzo Amore versus Big Cass. I am over this shit already. I really am. Before the match, Enzo says that he has a tank full of heart and the people in the arena are his key. This is a race and he can't wait to run into Cass like a finish line. Enzo kicks at, Big Cass's leg to start the match. Clearly that goes nowhere. This match ended with a fucking wicked big boot at almost 4 minutes. Enzo got his ass kicked here. Absolutely no contest. Big Cass beats Enzo again for a second time. After the match, Big Show comes out to make the save. And in the middle of the ring, while Big Show was walking down the aisle, Big Cass was holding Enzo Amore hostage like he was a fucking prisoner. He held him hostage in the middle of the ring as Big Show was slowly making his way to the ring, fumbling into the ring up the steel steps. Big Cass was like, don't come any closer. Don't get in the ring. I'm going to snap his neck. Why would you say that? So you're going to fucking kill the guy? You're going to kill the guy in the middle of the ring if Big Show steps 1 foot in the ring. Give me a break. And this beatdown that happened after this was very sloppy. It made me not excited at all for a match with Big Cass and Big Show. Just by what we seen in the ring last night with this beatdown, it kind of gives you an idea of what their match is going to be like at SummerSlam. A sleep fest. So Big Cass kicked Big Show in the face and dropped a bunch of Empire elbows on him and leaves Show in the corner. And he walks away. That was it. That does not get me excited at all for a Big Show versus Big Cass match at SummerSlam. Please save me the misery and just have the match on Monday Night Raw. Nobody wants to see this, and both of these guys do not need to be on SummerSlam. That's what I'm going to say about that. Alexa Bliss can't wait to see Sasha Banks and Bayley. She said that they were Team Gag Reflex. I don't know who the fuck scripted that line. I don't know how that even made TV. Probably got fucking some little 6-year-old girl. Mommy, what is a gag reflex? She knows one of them is going to go too far to win and avoid watching SummerSlam on the WWE Network. No matter what happens, Alexa said she will be the real winner tonight. Emma versus Nia. Remember when I told you that Emma tweeted last week in frustration that it was her 5-year anniversary and that she was sitting in catering? Yeah, somebody buried her on Monday Night Raw last night. Nia Jax buries Emma in 1 minute and 24 seconds, shoves her away like a fucking rag doll, only to have a running flip backsplash senton done to her, which probably crushed her fucking rib cage. Emma was easily destroyed in 1 minute and 24 seconds. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Emma, but somebody buried Emma last night on Monday Night Raw. Poor Emma. Poor Emma. She's probably fucking waiting for her contract to expire so that she could go to Ring of Honor and actually do what she wants to do. Wrestle. Because Monday Night Raw clearly don't know what to fucking do with Emma at all. Akira Tozawa is ready to fight Arya Daivari. Please put me to sleep. Anything with the Cruiserweights on Monday Night Raw is absolutely a waste of my fucking time. Titus O'Neil comes up and says that he canceled the match that Akira Tozawa was in because of his bad shoulder. Tozawa is absolutely livid. Says he wants to go to the ring anyway without Titus. I don't need you anymore. So Tozawa is in the ring. He wants Arya Daivari to come out, and Neville comes out instead. Neville takes credit for the bad shoulder and calls Tozawa pathetic. He should be saying the Cruiserweight division is pathetic instead of Tozawa. Tozawa then hits him in the face. with a few forearm shots and kicks. Neville's down. He goes up to the top rope to deliver that big senton splash. Daivari comes out to beat up both guys. And Daivari, with a wicked fucking clothesline, it was a short arm clothesline that turned Tozawa inside out. Looked fucking brutal. But I don't know what the fuck they got going on here on 205 Live because I don't watch it. Nor do I care. You know, Neville's the only good thing about 205 Live, and Neville's not going to get me to watch 205 Live on Tuesdays after SmackDown Live. Because the way SmackDown Live is going, I don't even want to watch SmackDown Live, let alone 205 Live. Bayley and Sasha, this was very good. Nowhere near what they did in Brooklyn at TakeOver. But the ending of this match, seeing Sasha hit a frog splash, Bayley reverses the frog splash. Obviously, it was a play off Eddie Guerrero, because, you know, Sasha loves Eddie Guerrero. Hits the frog splash. Bayley then rolls it over for a pin at 14 minutes, and Bayley beats Sasha Banks for the number one contendership of the Raw Women's Championship. I don't know why WWE made this decision. I don't. This makes no sense to me. You build Sasha Banks up, right? You build Sasha Banks up after winning that gauntlet match a couple of weeks ago, right? That gauntlet match that closed Monday Night Raw for the women. That was the same week that the women main evented Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Sasha Banks beats Nia Jax in 15 minutes. That gauntlet match went 30 minutes. Nia went 30 minutes in that match. They built up such a great story that Sasha Banks came from behind and slayed the much larger woman, Nia Jax. Then the next week, we got, I believe Sasha pinned Alexa Bliss again. So Sasha beats Alexa Bliss, she pins the champion, and she wins for a second week in a row. 1 week removed from beating Nia in that gauntlet match. So I'm like, okay, we got Bayley and Sasha. So then we got Sasha and Alexa, rather. So then we get to the pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire. We got Sasha and Alexa in a very good women's match in which Sasha was screwed out of a championship match because of what Alexa Bliss did. She took the count out, took the title, and went home. So Alexa pretty much, in cowardly heel-like fashion, fucked over Sasha Banks from winning the championship. Just based on that fact alone, we should have got another rematch. She should have been granted a rematch due to the champion's, bullshit chicken-like heel tactics. But WWE doesn't think that way. They want to book Bayley, of all fucking women, in a number one contenders match. What the fuck has she done? What has she done? You think WWE, is going to take Bayley and put her in a championship match after what we've seen them put Bayley through? With this is your life, and then losing in 5 minutes at Extreme Rules in a fucking kendo stick on a pole match? Like I'm supposed to forget everything that happened to Bayley? And even leading up to that, and after that, they buried Bayley before the Extreme Rules match and after the Extreme Rules match. Why does Bayley deserve a title shot after beating Sasha Banks once? Why is she even getting an opportunity? Now, the only logical reason I can think of is that WWE wanted to make things unpredictable. I think everybody thought Sasha Banks was going to win this match and get the rematch with Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, which is the right move. It's the right move. But Bayley wins. She rolled up Sasha after a frog splash. She is the number one contender. So we got Bayley and Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Where does Sasha Banks go from here? I don't know. Maybe WWE punished Sasha Banks for her little Tumblr message. 2 years left. 2 years till new beginnings. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the women. Emma got buried. And Sasha Banks, realistically, should have won this match. In reality, she lost. I don't know what the hell's going on with the women, man. A lot of really head-scratching moments here. The only thing that I could think of here is Bayley wins the title. WWE thinks by giving Bayley the title, it's going to erase everything that they did with Bayley leading up to Extreme Rules. No, it's not, because Bayley is still cringe. But if Bayley wins the title and Sasha Banks feels slighted here, maybe, I'm hoping, maybe that WWE takes Sasha Banks and turns Sasha Banks into frustrated Sasha Banks and has her turn on Bayley at SummerSlam. Maybe we get that. I'm still holding out hope. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at SummerSlam. I'm not really excited for another Bayley versus Alexa Bliss match. I would have much rather seen Sasha versus Alexa and Sasha win the title and then turn Sasha heel and have Bayley chase. Sasha would hold the title all the way till WrestleMania, and then we would have Sasha versus Emma, Sasha versus Nia. Maybe we could do Sasha versus Alexa again, and then we turn Sasha heel in the early portion of 2018. We get Bayley just being overly frustrated. You build her back up. You get that frustration building in Bayley. That little girl's put to the side a little bit. The fucking woman in Bayley comes out and says, I'm not going to be a pushover anymore. You stab me in the back. We'll do this at WrestleMania. Bayley wins the title at WrestleMania. That's what I would have did. So I don't know where WWE's going with this. I just don't think it's a good decision. The only thing I could think of is either Sasha Banks got punished for her Tumblr message, or WWE wanted to be unpredictable and say, fuck the fans, and they gave us Bayley versus Alexa instead of Sasha versus Alexa. But I don't like the decision. I thought they made the wrong one last night with this number one contenders match. Jason Jordan versus Curt Hawkins. This was very academic. 1 minute and 44 seconds. Jason Jordan, belly to back, neck breaker to Curt Hawkins. Easy debut victory for Jason Jordan. Nothing special there. Crowd was very silent. Nobody really gave a shit. They were oohing and eyeing over Jason Jordan's offense. He's a very explosive, a very dynamic individual in the ring. Hopefully he gets over. But week one, after the big reveal, not much going on. You're not going to get me excited about a Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle storyline by putting him in a fucking match with Curt Hawkins. Not going to get anything going as far as this feud goes. Or as this storyline goes, rather. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. It's week one. Hopefully WWE doesn't abandon ship here. But like I said, they got to add that spice to this. They got to add that Maury Povich, Jerry Springer-like fucking deal to this thing. I said it, last week when we talked about it. Jason Jordan could come out and be, you know what, I fucked up the entire thing. I used you to get ahead. I only said I was your son to get on Monday Night Raw and get the spotlight. Then it's revealed that Chad Gable is really Kurt Angle's son. And we get a heel turn from Jason Jordan and a match leading to Jordan versus Angle at WrestleMania. Something along those lines. Or Jordan versus Gable at WrestleMania. Something along those lines. So they still have time. If WWE wants to add a little spice to the storyline and kind of rewrite everything if it gets too boring or, they realize nobody gives a shit. But nobody's going to give a shit if Jason Jordan's fighting Curt Hawkins here. Nobody cares. The crowd in DC didn't care, right? A few oohs and ahs over a few suplexes isn't going to get this fucking storyline kicked into the next gear. So it was a bye week here for this storyline. Jordan squashes Curt Hawkins. The Revival come to the ring, and they are ready for an interview with Charlie Caruso, and they tell Charlie to get out of the ring. They're the best tag team in the world right now because they chased the New Day off the SmackDown. They took out the Hardys and scared Enzo and Cass so much that they split up. So Anderson and Gallows come and say that they're good brothers, and this is DC. DC is a good brothers town. They did everything that the Revival did before the Revival, including being bald. So, on a normal day, this is a fucking tag team match that would get a lot of people excited. Being that it's on Monday Night Raw, nobody gives a shit, because nobody knew how to handle Anderson and Gallows, right? Apparently they're baby faces now, so I don't know when the fuck that came to be. And the Revival, nobody gives a shit about the Revival, because they're still in rebuilding mode, because of Scott Dawson being by himself for 2 months because Dash Wilder had a broken jaw. So with Wilder having a broken jaw, that kind of really slowed down the impact that the Revival made in their debut following WrestleMania. So now people got to get affiliated with them again. They got to realize who these guys are. So this match went about 10 minutes. The Hardys came out here. The Boot of Doom was about to be, executed on the Revival. Hardys came to interrupt. They stood at the top of the ramp. Revival is thrown to the floor, but the distraction gets them to come back in for a Shatter Machine on Carl Anderson at 10 minutes. The Revival beat the Club with a Shatter Machine. Hardys come in and lay out the Revival. About to hit the Poetry in Motion. They nailed that. They were about to hit the Swanton Bomb. Jeff was going for the Swanton, but at the end, we had Dawson pretty much take Wilder out of harm's way, and they escaped, leaving the Hardys in the ring to pretty much, again, just look at the Revival. Looks like we're getting a Revival Hardys match at SummerSlam. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know where Sheamus and Cesaro are. They did show them in the back watching this tag team match. I don't know whether that was a tape or something, but we had Sheamus being reported to be filming a movie, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know whether they were in the arena last night, but we haven't seen Sheamus and Cesaro for a couple of weeks now. But the tag team division on Monday Night Raw really scares me. We got the Revival, we got Anderson and Gallows, we got the Hardys, and we got Sheamus and Cesaro. That's 4 teams. Because you know WWE's not going to use Rhino and Slater. WWE broke up Enzo and Cass. WWE broke up the Golden Truth. There's only 4 fucking teams on Monday Night Raw. That's not a division. 4 teams is not a division. Okay? 6 teams would be a division. I'd take 6 teams. But WWE, I'm hearing now, and we'll talk about this on Friday. WWE thinking about, or there's rumors of another shakeup following SummerSlam. If WWE really wants to do right by this fucking brand split, they gotta lay some rules down. Trades. There's no animosity between Stephanie and Shane McMahon. There's no competition between Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle. Right? All that shit that Vince McMahon says, I want you to tear each other's heads off. I want there to be bloodshed when it comes to the brand split, the brand war. None of that's taking place. None of that is taking place. And the more I watch these shows, the more that I watch these shows, the more I realize that my original idea was right. My original idea was right. Now, I still believe that my original idea is right and that WWE should really do something as far as a shakeup goes. I honestly think all tag teams should be on one show and all women should be on the other. It gives you a reason to watch the shows. If you like the Hardys, you're going to go out of your way to watch that show. If you like Sasha Banks or Bayley or Charlotte, you're going to go out of your way to watch the other show because you want to see those people. It gives you a reason to watch each show. Or WWE could have the women and the tag teams revolve from both shows. That's what I would do. Either one of those situations is fine. But something needs to be done. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Monday Night Raw has a tag team division that consists of 4 teams and you're going to sit there and call it a division. It's not a fucking division. It's a fucking embarrassment. It's pathetic. What are you going to do when the Hardys split up? What are you going to do when Broken Matt makes his debut on Monday Night Raw? What are you going to do when Jeff Hardy's the Enigma Jeff Hardy challenging for the Universal Championship? It's 3 teams. 3 teams. Look what we got on SmackDown. We got the New Day. We got the Usos. We got Breezango. We got 3 fucking teams being used on SmackDown Live with the Ascension sitting in catering. The Colognes are hurt. We got the Hype Bros ready to split up. We got no tag teams. Either put them all on one show or have a revolving door for both shows. But I honestly still to this day, and I mentioned this last year, so if you guys are thinking anything, or you didn't say that, I said it immediately after the fucking draft was over. The tag team should be on one show, and the women should be on the other. The more I watch these shows, and the lack of depth I see in this division, and the women's division. You can't call a women's division a division by using only Sasha, Bayley, Nia, and Alexa. You got Emma, you got Mickie James. What happened? What happened? Put them all on one show and get these women on television. Put the women on Raw. Put the tag teams on SmackDown. Since Stephanie is with the Women's Revolution and has a big part in the Women's Revolution, put the women on Raw. Put the tag teams on SmackDown. It would make things a lot easier, and we would actually get a division out of both divisions. Because I love tag team wrestling. What, are you going to have a revolving door of the same matches every fucking week? You got 3 fucking heel teams in one division and 1 babyface team in the Hardys. Now you want to kind of just inconspicuously fucking just sneak it on in as the club becomes babyfaces? When the fuck did that happen? Band-Aids over a huge wound. It's all WWE thinks of. Instead of actually coming up with a solution to make things right. That's what needs to happen. If you want a shake-up, if you want a brand split, treat it like a fucking brand split. Still haven't gotten a fucking idea as to why Jason Jordan's on Monday Night Raw. How did Monday Night Raw get Jason Jordan from SmackDown? Was there a trade? Was some deal made? These logic gaps just present itself, and then people want to tell me I'm complaining. Just enjoy the product. No! I don't want to be treated like an idiot. If you want to be treated like an idiot, by all means, have a blast. But I want to know, how did Monday Night Raw got Jason Jordan from SmackDown to Raw? Was there a trade? Did SmackDown get a talent in this deal? What happened? Bullshit. Everybody just shows up. Trades need to be made. Competition needs to be made. What happens when Survivor Series comes, right? WWE's going to do Raw vs. SmackDown. Why am I going to believe in a Raw vs. SmackDown match if there's no fucking internal issue all year long? You're going to make it an issue for 3 weeks and then make me believe I should care about a Survivor Series Raw vs. SmackDown match when there has been no issue all year long? Those are the things I think about. If you don't think about them, you should start thinking about them. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus The Miz Taraj, 3-on-2 handicap match. This match went 20 minutes. 20 minutes of fucking silence from the crowd until Dean Ambrose got the hot tag. This was nothing but Seth Rollins getting his ass kicked by all 3 members of The Miz Taraj. Dean Ambrose gets the hot tag, cleaned house quickly. That fucking rebound lariat that he does is fucking ridiculous. It looks worse and worse every time I see it. Did his top rope elbow. Axel escapes dirty deeds. And then in comes The Miz for a skull-crushing finale. A near fall on Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose do stereo suicide dives all onto The Miz Taraj. All 3 of them are down. And then all of a sudden, Dirty Deeds puts Miz away in the ring at 20 minutes. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose beat The Miz Taraj. Ambrose was so pumped, so excited, right? He was happy that he got the victory over The Miz. Rollins and Ambrose hugging each other, celebrating. Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring, I don't know, he looked very like, yeah, we won, but, I want you to trust me. So he puts out his fist. He's waiting for Dean Ambrose to do the signature Shield fist bump. And Dean Ambrose is like, goodbye, and rolls out of the ring. Leaves Rollins hanging there, and Rollins looks like a fucking, his girlfriend of 8 years dumped him, right? And he just stands there crying. He's like, what the fuck, man? You just left me hanging. You look like a fucking depressed child, like somebody took his fucking ice cream away. So he stands there as the show goes off the air, still wanting to fucking get the fist pump from Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose is like, fuck you, man, I'm leaving. We did what we had to do. We teamed up for one night. We beat the Miz Taraj, and I'm going home. I'm gonna go have a beer at the bar. Show goes off the air with Dean Ambrose walking up the ramp with Seth Rollins just in the ring, left hanging. I don't know what that means, but I fantasy booked this on Off the Script Part 3. Looks like we might be getting a heel turn. As per reports, Dean Ambrose, this might be leading to a heel turn for Dean Ambrose. Ambrose might ultimately accept Seth Rollins for who he is and finally gain, or Rollins finally might gain Ambrose trust. Ambrose might finally trust Rollins here and then do the same thing that Rollins did to him. Ambrose might be the one to turn on Seth Rollins now after we get this storyline built up to the point where they both trust each other. Ambrose might turn around and say, you know what, you scarred me for 3 years. You scarred me ever since that day. And he might look to return the favor, and Ambrose might turn heel. I still don't know what they do with the IC title at SummerSlam. I say put Ambrose, Rollins, and Miz in a triple threat match. That's the only other multi-person match I would have at SummerSlam. That's it. I think that makes sense. You know, the internal struggle between Rollins and Ambrose, the Intercontinental Championship could be, you know, something that is a catalyst in that feud. Rollins can beat The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. The title will be back on a babyface. Rollins had done something and interjected himself in Dean Ambrose's issue and did something that Ambrose couldn't do, beat The Miz. You know, now he's got the IC title. Ambrose becomes jealous, right? And Ambrose, after a while, trusts Rollins and turns on him out of sheer jealousy. You know, it could happen. It could happen. In the same situation that Rollins did to Ambrose, Ambrose is going to do to Rollins. While Rollins' back is turned, a steel chair right to the back. I see it. I foreshadow it happening. I could see it happening. If WWE wants to go that route, that would be great. That would be great. I'm really intrigued about what they're doing with these two guys. Hopefully, it does lead to a heel turn for Dean Ambrose, because one is desperately needed. That was Monday Night Raw, man. That was it. Nothing of great importance. It was a much better show than what we got on Sunday night with Battleground, but still, just a very formulaic, you know, generic issue of Monday Night Raw. There was nothing that really stood out outside the obvious Strowman, Joe, Lesnar, Reigns situation and the announcement for the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam. But, you know, Monday Night Raw, man, you know, then they're not breaking any ground with these shows. It's still too long. The 3 hours is too long. But Monday Night Raw has more superstars that I am interested in going into SummerSlam than SmackDown does. SmackDown, I mean, outside of AJ Styles, I am excited for nothing on that brand. Absolutely nothing on that brand. So, tonight, Road Dogg, seriously, bro, you got to get back on the fucking wagon. You got to fucking give us the show that we all expect SmackDown to be. Enough of this bullshit. And if I see the Great Khali come out tonight, I swear on my fucking grandfather's grave, the guy's going on a t-shirt. Because at that point, I know this guy's back for good. Give me a break. Monday Night Raw doing a lot of things better than SmackDown Live right now. And those were not the words coming out of my mouth before WrestleMania. Not at all. Something went wrong. Like I said, this is Bizarro World, man. Where Monday Night Raw is having more thumbs up shows than SmackDown Live now. Something, you know, fucked up somewhere. We just got to find out where it is. So hopefully SmackDown delivers a fucking somewhat decent show, a redeeming show tonight following the fucking embarrassment that was Battleground. I don't put any faith in them, but we'll see what happens, man. I might be live on Twitch for some live reactions with SmackDown. I'll let you guys know on Twitter. Please follow me on there at JDFROMNY206 and hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for Monday Night Raw Review. Until then, I am JD. Hit that fucking thumbs up. Let's aim for 1,500 likes on this video. I know we probably won't come anywhere close to that, but whatever the case may be, man. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys later today for SmackDown Live. I'll talk to you later.